This is where the professionalism stops after all that, because I'm not really politically correct. I do my own thing up here, so as you can kind of see. And I also apologize for my voice. For some reason, I thought yesterday would be a good idea to go to a Cubs game and sit in 90-degree sun and drink too much beer. So, go Cubs. You guys say, is it chirp chirp? Is that thing still going on? Is that what you guys say? All right. So if I'm gonna say, when I point to you, you say that. What up, freshman? All right. That was pretty good. It was 2 weeks ago. President Gora called me, and she said, we need to meet for lunch. And I was like, oh, God. I was like, I'm a 37-year-old ass man, and I feel like I'm going to the principal's office right now, getting in trouble. And I told her, we sat down and we talked a little bit, and I said, I do things a little untraditional. I want to dress like this because I like to feel comfortable and I like to wear what I like to wear. And I said, is that okay? And she said, well, yeah, that's fine. And I said, one other thing, I've never taken a speech class, even at Ball State. And she said, that's fine. And I saw this like bubble go over her head, and she was like, what in God's name have I gotten myself into with this kid? And even when we were downstairs getting ready, I saw her, she walked in and she went, she goes, you really wore jeans. And I go, I told you I was going to. So thank you for the invitation. And I told her, I told some of my old professors are back here, and I said, the 3,000 something of you guys doesn't make me nervous. I'm more nervous about my professors back here listening to me, because these guys are going to start critiquing how I'm doing up here, and it makes me nervous again. So obviously you've heard a little bit about how we got started. I'm getting most of my recognition right now from these three things. Joanne said MySpace. I'm not really, we use MySpace a little bit, but I don't know anybody that really is on MySpace anymore. So, but those are our big ones. If you do want to follow us on any of those, our fan page is Scotty's without the apostrophe. Be warned, if you do follow me on any of those pages, I don't hold back. Just like I am right today, anything that I talk about, I think ultimately when I use, the way that I use social media, the final destination is to get you into my restaurant. But it's also for me to have a dialogue with you. So if you send a tweet to me, I know somebody in the crowd, one of your leaders actually I just talked to today, said I sent you a tweet and you responded right back to it. And that's me. You get my answers right back. It was a way for me to connect. Now that we have 600 employees, we've got 7 locations. It's a way for me to really get back and connect with my customer, because in the olden days, I was the bartender. A lot of people don't remember, and none of you would remember this, but I used to bartend and cook and be the waiter and go home at night and do the accounting, and then I'd come back in and do all of that again the next day. And as we've grown up, and that was the goal, I wanted my restaurant concept to continue to expand. But the problem with that is that I got out of doing what I love to do. All of a sudden now I sit behind a desk and I type all day and I don't get to talk to anybody. So the beautiful part about Twitter and Facebook and things like that is that I talk right back to you. And it's not, a lot of times I get comments that are like, hey, my food sucks today, or the food, it's slow, or what. Those are rare and far between, but occasionally they come through that way, and it allows me to take care of problems when they occur. So that's kind of where we got involved with social media, and we do have a director of social media that's actually here today with me. The middle one, I don't know if any of you are using Foursquare yet. That's kind of what they're calling location-based social media. That's the next big trend, at least for retailers. So if you're not on any of those, obviously all of them are free. I bet 98% of you guys are on Facebook. Twitter is a good one. It's fun and it's addictive. But you can find out a lot. If you're following Ocho Cinco or Kim Kardashian or any of those other fools that are out there, you can hear a lot of the things that they say. And same with me. I'm one of those same fools that likes to talk about my kids pooping their pants and things that I think are funny. You might not think are funny, but and then Foursquare, like I said, is more of a, you check in when you're at a place. It's a loyalty-based incentive program. So if you go to Scotty's and you check in on Foursquare, you get 10% off Monday through Thursday on lunch. And a lot of places are doing the same thing. It was fun. This weekend when we were in Chicago, the waitress heard us talking about Foursquare, and she said, if you guys check in right now, you get 20% off. And we're like, well, okay, we're checking in. So a lot of businesses are getting a Gap, I know, uses it. A lot of retail stores use it. So this is just an example of one of the tweets that I sent out recently. Again, I try to mix personal stuff. I'll talk about my life at home. I'll talk about things that I just think are funny in pop culture. Kesha is kind of well, I'm not going to slam her. So anyway, I use Twitter to do a lot of this stuff. And if you follow me, you'll get some of these little insights. I couldn't find a graduation picture without a beer in my hand, and I didn't want to come in here with that. So this is me graduating first grade, and it's a surprise that I even made it this far, right? That I didn't get the S kicked out of me by now. That my mom thanks Mom for dressing me like a fool. I graduated Ball State in December of '95, moved to the hot state of Texas, worked at Oshman Sporting Goods there, for anybody that knows that company, until I only lasted about a year there. And I quickly came back to Muncie, to my home. I'm a family guy. I wanted to be closer to my parents. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still clueless. And this is, as I listened to everybody say, a major, and I can remember back when I was a freshman, sophomore, trying to think, I got to pick this major of what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have no clue. So to tell you that everything works out okay in the end, if you have some perseverance, I still didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated. What I did find out though is I had a common theme. I was always working at a restaurant, and that light bulb didn't go off till late in my 20s. But Dill Street, those of you who've seen, and I'm talking about not the street, but the actual bar that's there, is the same place. I used to wash dishes there. That was my first job. Actually, Dairy Queen was my first job. Dill Street was my first dishwashing job. Applebee's on McGalliard. I was a waiter there through all of college. I waited tables all through the summers down in Panama City, Florida. So this common theme came up. And so as you can see, and as President Gora talked about, these are kind of show you where our locations are. Muncie, Bloomington, Lafayette. Well, I'll go through the chronology. Muncie in obviously 96. I opened another restaurant after that in Muncie that failed. I worked that for 3 years, worked my tail off, and it was the hardest 3 years of my life. I wasn't able to make it work, and it was a tough time. But I was telling one of my professors back here that those challenges made me strong. I had to go through that. I didn't want to go through that. You all will know, and I'll talk a little bit here in a couple minutes about another challenge that I went through in my life. But those challenging times when your back's against the wall and you're like, I want to give up. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's what makes you who you are. That when things are going well, that's not your character. When things are going bad, that determines who you're going to be. What kind of person are you? So that I lifted myself up. I said I can either sit here and cry, suck my thumb and say this sucks, or I can pick myself up, dust myself off, and bust ass and make this concept work. And it took me about 8 years to pay back the $1 million that I lost in that restaurant. So Bloomington came on in 2001. West Lafayette came open in 2004. All the bankers told me that Indianapolis would never work. We're a college town bar. And you know what? I love when people say that to me. I love when someone says you can't do that, because I'm like, guess what? I'm going to show you how wrong you are. And I opened north side of Indianapolis in 2007. I opened downtown Indianapolis in 2009, I think. And then we opened a sister restaurant out at Geist called Scotty's Lake House. We just opened that this last October. And then you heard President Gora say we're opening a brew pub where we're going to actually brew our own beer in Broad Ripple. So slated to open this December. We're going to ship all of that beer to all of our locations exclusively. So I'm excited. By applause, how many of you guys are from Fort Wayne? Go for it. So most of you know the new Parkview Field. Where that little arrow is at the top, that's where we're going to be, most likely going to be located. We signed a letter of intent to open there in 2011. Clap your hands if you're from the region. So this is a concept that we haven't signed the agreement on, but we're negotiating right now back and forth. So we could be open at Eddy Commons, which is right near the football stadium. We're excited about that. And then from there, the next two locations, in my mind, everything changes. I mean, I always have this set plan, and whenever you have something set, you always go a different way. But Columbus, Ohio, and Chicago, Lincoln Park are next. And then my ultimate goal is to try to get out West Coast. I want to live, if I can talk my beautiful wife into it, into San Diego and Phoenix, Arizona, and get some stuff open out there. So, you're not supposed to see that yet. No one saw that, right? Okay, we have to play a game. The problem is I kind of screwed up. I made this game with thinking of myself as the person that's listening to what's going on, and I forgot that it's a bunch of 17 and 18 and however old you kids are. So the songs that I picked are stuff that I know, and I know, so all of you professors back here, as you look at the screens, if you know the words, I need you to sing them. And even if you don't know the words, because you're probably not going to know them in the first couple songs, I put them on the screen. So you got to say them when the song stops and gives you time to talk. You got it? Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Hello, Ball State freshmen. My name is Dave Smiley. I do the Smiley Morning Show in Indianapolis, weekday mornings, 5 to 10. Check it out if you get a chance. Wanted to tell you to pay attention now, ladies and gentlemen. Our good friend Scotty, now he might be hungover, but he's worked really hard to impress us today. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to play some songs. When the song stops, you sing the next line, okay? So listen carefully. I'm going to stop the song, and you sing the next line, okay? Or the next lines. Ready? Here we go.
That was good. I'm impressed. It was even kind of in tune a little bit, ish. Now you already know the group? Yes, now that's what I'm talking about. Cardinal Pride. All right, we got another one. This is a long game. We got another one.
Matter of fact, you should take 4B and think before you fuck a little skateboard B. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot.
All right. You got caught up with my dance moves, didn't you? Who knows that? Is that Kenny?
When the sun goes down, we'll be back for more. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down,
Yes. I need iPods in the air or your iPhones or something. I don't get to feel like a rock star very often.
I have in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like.
Nice. That was really nice. This is my era. Don't be messing with BBD.
That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, love her. Wrong move, you're dead.
Oh, come on. Name that dance. Anybody know that dance? Thank you, brother.
Well, Diamond, and I hope.
That's good. There's some reggae over there. What do we got here?
This place and they about sounded late. Why it's a time like.
Decent. You're starting to fade on me a little bit. There's only got 2 left. This is one of my faves. Get this right.
How they shine for you. Everything you do. Yeah, they.
Good. All right, last one. I'm not even going to look because I know what the words are. I'll fast forward it for you.
Yeah.
there's a party in the U. What? It says don't sing. I already knew what was up there. All right. Good work, good work, good work. Okay, the reason I did that, silly little game, was to show you, in my mind, I'm a big music guy. I liked all of that stuff, except for her. But I think that's what makes me eclectic. I think that's what makes me be able to talk to lots of different groups well. Even in my own restaurant. You know, I've got to talk to 18-year-old employees, 17-year-old employees, 45-year-old guests, 45-year-old employees. And I think that, to me, in my mind, when I put this presentation together, one of the things I wanted to use was music, because I feel like music really binds us all. Some of you guys like Kenny Chesney, some of you like Belle Biv DeVoe, well, if you were born then. But you know what I'm saying? You all have different areas of music, different genres of music that you like. I compare that a lot to college. I think that college offers those same kind of things. I think when I first came to school, I thought that all the cliques were going to be gone. That it was going to be, high school, there were cliques. And I never was in them. I wasn't a jock. I wasn't in the nerd clique. I wasn't in the clique that had, the grungy guys that wore the trench coats everywhere. I wasn't in any of those. I just kind of floated around and talked to everybody because I didn't align with one group. Same kind of thing happens here at college. Cliques still form. You're still going to have groups that are Greeks, or groups that are with the SGA, or groups that are in the marching band, or you got your athletic teams, clubs. And that's okay. That's what makes college a great thing. I think what you guys need to recognize, if you're a thespian, I think what I compared college to is this. Not Mike Posner. I compared it to, which is a great CD, by the way, an iTunes store. I think college is like a giant iTunes store. You got to go out there and just shop around. Obviously, things aren't 99 cents to go here and buy a song, but you got to use college and go around and think about what you want to get interested in. This is going to be your friend. It'll seem like an enemy, and maybe you don't even have that. I know a lot of you guys use your iPhones and your Blackberries and whatever to wake up. That's your friend. This is your enemy. Stay away from that. College is about time management. You're going to learn that you guys are getting ready to embrace the most beautiful thing in the world, that's freedom. Remember when you got your driver's license, for those of you that did? That was like the best day in the world. I mean, you were still tied down to home, but you could drive away if you were pissed off or if you wanted to just get out. College is that on steroids. You now have a lot of freedoms, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can not go to class, which means you'll get not good grades, which means you probably will be the one of three that Joanne was talking about that won't be here. Or you can embrace what you have. Embrace this thing that you've been gifted with. You're all sitting here for a reason. You chose to come to Ball State. You've got to now take that and you've got to push yourself. You're not going to have mom calling you, dad, whoever, waking you up in the morning. You got your little peanut butter toast for you on the counter with some cereal. This is your job. You got to do all this. You got to manage your time. I love Grandpa Simpson. I use that because now what I'm going to talk about, I feel like when I make these next statements, I feel like I'm my dad. And I'm a dad now, thanks to my beautiful wife, Amy, again. We've got 3 beautiful children. So now Dad Talk's going to come out. And you guys are all going to tune out now, I know. You've got to take this opportunity now, and you got to use it. I think that if you just, you can easily sit in your dorm room, you can have fun, you can play I don't know, even the new PS3 or whatever you guys are using now. You can do that. And you can even do that and do something else, but you can't lay there and let life pass you by. All these things that President Gore talked about, all these groups, all these clubs, it's your job to go out there and find the one that you want to be in. It's not going to come to you. They're not going to come knocking on your door, hey, do you want to join soccer club, or do you want to? That's your job. So you can either ignore it all, or you can get out there and test the waters. In the beginning, I talked about how I didn't take a speech class, and that was true. I've never taken a speech class. But what I did was I forced myself in college. I wanted to get out there and see what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I told you I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. One of the things I knew, internships, for example, and you don't have to worry about a lot of this right now, but use an internship. I thought I wanted to be a radio DJ when I was a sophomore. So I got an internship for a summer at a local station, and when I had to get up at 3 in the morning every morning, I quickly decided that was not the career path that I was going to take. You guys need to, you need to push this school offers so many of those kind of things where you can go out and test the waters. Go out there and get active in it. You know, I'm a Delt. I'm a Ball State Delt. Very happy with my fraternity. But you don't have to be Greek. You don't have to downplay Greeks. You don't have to be in athletics. You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you feel comfortable with, but do something. Get out there and get involved. Not just because you're trying to do it because I'm saying so, but it will help you. This morning when I woke up at the W Hotel in Chicago, I was with 14 of my best friends from Ball State, all Delt brothers that we graduated in 1995. So I've known these guys for almost 20 years, and I'm still best friends with them. They flew in from California, Atlanta, New York, all over the country, and we still get together once a year to have fun. Don't let life pass you by. My dad, you know, that quote at the bottom there is something that my dad always told me. I was like, oh, I'm tired, I want to take a nap. He always said, you'll have time to sleep when you're dead. I use Zoop a lot in, I don't know if you can read that, but rewinding back to my Twitter talk, and one of the things I really love about Twitter, I sent Mark a tweet and I said, hey, and you know, you never know if these guys are the real people that are answering them or if they're their agents or whatever, but I sent him one. I said, hey, I know you're coming to Ball State. Your book touched me. It really meant a lot. I mean, that book I got a lot out of. And I said, I'd love to have a drink with you or have some dinner or lunch. And he sent me a message back and said, well, we'll hook it up when I'm in town. A guy that how else would I, 5 years ago or 2 years ago, I would have never been able to talk to someone like that. So, it's just an ancillary benefit of Twitter, but I was able to talk to him about that and having conversations with him and talking to him about the challenges that he faced. I mean, I hope you guys read that book, man, because it is fantastic. The part where he's laying, maybe I'm not supposed to give it away because I know you're getting ready to go talk about it. I'll give some of you that didn't read it, I'll give you some hints. But the part where when he's just laying there, barely hanging on to the log in that water, I'm just like, how can this guy pull himself together and be okay with everything? And I was just, to me, because I've gone through little challenges in my life. I talked about the restaurant that failed. I had retina detachment surgery. I think that's the next slide. Oh, no, this is getting involved. I had retina detachment surgery. My retina detached from my eye just like 4 years ago. So if you guys think I'm looking at you over here, I'm probably looking at you and you guys, and my eyes are a little kooky. And I'm okay with that. I can still see. But you know what it taught me? And this picture of this weirdo in this chair is a chair that I actually had to sit in because I had to keep my face down, straight down for an entire, I think it was like 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It was miserable. That's how I watched TV. That was like my stretching exercises, was I could sit there and, but you know what that did? And at the time, it was miserable. It was like I didn't know how I was going to survive. If I didn't have one of my eyes, how was I going to be able to have my driver's license? And how was I going to be able to sign checks? And all these things are going through my head. And I think that's one of the reasons why it related well to Zupan's book. And I know all of you guys have gone through some of those same life-changing events as well. A passing of a loved one or any event that you've come in conflict with, you've met those challenges, right? And if you're all sitting here listening to my ass talk right now, you made it through that challenge. Maybe you're going through a challenge right now, but you're still here. And I think that's what I want you to recognize that stuff. I want you to use Zoop's book, use my talk if that inspires you a little bit, but get out there and live life because you don't know, I think you just don't appreciate what you have until it's all taken away. And that's the dad part of this speech. I can sit here and tell you all this, and you guys are like, God, I wish this guy would hurry the F up. I got to get out here, we can get this book done, and then I'm going to go hang out with my friends, and I get that. I've been in your shoes. I still question my dad every day about stuff that he still tells me about when I'm going to be 60, you're going to do that. And I'm like, Dad, just shut up. So I understand that. You want me to shut up. But if anything, don't even listen to my little sob story about my eye. Zupan, any of those people that have gone through what he's gone through, and now he climbs mountains and skis and he embraces everything that he does. To me, that's what I ask out of all of you. That's my challenge to you. I want to come back to one of these talks, because I didn't get to go do this in college. I want to come back and I want to see one of you guys up here doing what I'm doing. I was going to sit here and try to read letters, and I'm not going to do that to embarrass yourself and me both. These are, I got to get a little marketing real quick. So, all ages welcome, smoke free, daily lunch specials. These are actually our food too. Those are our fried pickles that we're known for, if you've never had them. Every Monday, perfect timing for Monday Night Football, $10 all you can eat wings. So I never thought my wings would get a bigger applause than me at this thing, but I'm going to end with showing you guys just a little video clip of a movie, Any Given Sunday, if you guys have seen it. Love it. Love Pacino's, this speech right here. And President Gora, I think, hit it on the head when she was talking about the sign in the football weight room. Because this isn't just this conversation, you can apply it to any form of your life. I use this speech. Well, I'm using it today, of course. I use it in my restaurant, in a management motivational setting, because in my mind, what he is saying is, he's talking about life. He's talking about the 6 inches in front of your face is what you got to deal with. It's the little details that you got to get out there and work at and make a difference. Because if you can't get those 6 inches right, someone else is, and they're passing you by, and they're going to get on, and they're going to do something better, go further. So you guys have to take those 6 inches and make it matter. I'm going to show the video. I'm done. Thank you guys for letting me speak today. Thanks for being a good participant. Thank you. Thanks.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get it kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. There's 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's the team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?